Good morning. Good morning, students. So today here I'm giving a guest lecturing on gas turbines. So through a small PPT presentation. So first, start with the introduction about the gas turbine. So what I mean by a gas turbine? A gas turbine is called as a thermal prime mover, mainly which converts the heat energy of the hot air or burned gases into a mechanical work in the form of rotational shaft. So here in the slide, you can go through the definition. So what I explained in the definition is a gas turbine is a thermal prime mover which converts the heat energy of hot air or burned gases into mechanical work in the form of rotational shaft. So here what I mean by a prime mover. A prime mover means if you taken to drive the centrifugal pump, they'll be using a motor. So here the motor is called as a prime mover to rotate the centrifugal pump. So that is the example I can give about the prime mover. So where you can see the applications. Generally you'll be know about the compressor to drive the air compressors in turbojets they'll be using. In ships, if you go for will be called as the turbopropellant engines, there will be having the compressors and turbines. Both to drive the compressor and turbines, the gas turbines will be utilized. If you go for power plants, there they will be using the gas turbines for to generate the electricity. So one more will called as the armored fighting vehicles such as ships, trains, tanks, and all these the gas turbines will be used to drive the engines of ships, tanks, trains. Next, the gas turbines are also used to drive the superchargers fitted in aviation gasoline engines. So in all these sectors, we can see the applications of gas turbines. So this is a brief introduction about the gas turbines. Next, I'm explaining about the classification of gas turbine. So in the next slide, I have prepared about the classification of gas turbines. So the gas turbines can be classified into two types. One is based on the heat addition. The gas turbines are mainly classified into two types. One is constant pressure gas turbine, constant volume gas turbine. Here you can see constant pressure gas turbine, constant volume gas turbine. First, what do you mean by constant pressure gas turbine? In this turbine, the combustion of the working substance it will be takes place at constant pressure. So there is a meaning constant pressure turbine. Whichever the working fluid it uses the working substance when it is in the combustion in the combustion chamber, it will be at a constant pressure. It will be the work combustion of the fluid will be takes place at constant pressure. So that is a meaning constant pressure gas turbine. So based on the flow path of the working fluid, the constant pressure gas turbine, it can be classified into two types. One is open gas turbine, open cycle gas turbine, and one is closed cycle gas turbine. In the slide, you can go through open cycle gas turbine, closed cycle gas turbine. What do you mean by open cycle gas turbine? In open cycle gas turbine, the working fluid it will be replaced continuously as they are exhausted to the atmosphere after doing work. What I mean by closed cycle gas turbine? In this turbine, the working fluid it will be circulated continuously in a closed cycle. So that is the about open and closed cycle gas turbine. Next, constant volume gas turbine. In this turbine, the combustion of the working substance it will be takes place at constant volume. So this is a brief explanation about the classification of gas turbine. So the next slide. Already we know the constant pressure gas turbine is classified into two types. One is open cycle gas turbine and closed cycle gas turbine. So now in this slide, I'm explaining about the open cycle gas turbine. So the figure it shows the line diagram of open cycle gas turbine. The open cycle gas turbine mainly it will be consisting of three major elements. One is compressor, combustion chamber, turbine. So these are the major elements of open cycle gas turbine. So here if you see the figure, the compressor and the turbine both it is mounted on the same shaft. So means on common shaft. So come with the working principle. So in the first step, the fresh air it is drawn into the compressor where the atmospheric air it will gets compressed to a higher pressure in the compressor. So from the compressor, the compressed air it will be flowing into the combustion chamber. So that is showed as a 2. In the combustion chamber, the fuel should be supplying from the external source. The complete combustion of the fuel it will be takes place in the combustion chamber. The hot gases producing from the combustion chamber it will be gets mixed with the compressed air. So due to this, the temperature and pressure of the gases it will be increased. Also, the mass of the gas will be gets increased. The high temperature and high pressure gases it will be flowing into the turbine. So that will be showed as a 3. When the high pressure and temperature gases when it enters into the turbine, it will be subjected to expansion. Due to the expansions, the heat energy of the hot gases converts as a mechanical work in the form of rotation of shaft. The rotation of turbine shaft can be utilized to produce the electricity with the help of the generator, or it can be used to drive the propellers of ships. Whatever the exhaust gases it will be releasing from the turbine will be directly exhausted to the atmosphere. Here the fresh air and fuel it will be circulated for the next cycle. So based on this reason, it is called as the open cycle gas turbine. So this is the same explanation. It is there in the next slide. You can go through. Next, I'm explaining about the closed cycle gas turbine. So the figure it shows the line diagram of closed cycle gas turbine, and mainly it consists of four major elements: compressor, heat exchanger, gas turbine, and cooler. Here also the compressor and gas turbine is mounted on the same shaft. In the first step, the gases it will be receiving from the cooler into the compressor, where the gas will gets compressed to a higher pressure in the compressor. The high pressure gases it will be flowing into the heat exchangers, where the heat will be gets added in the heat exchanger to the gas from the external source. After adding the heat to the gas, the temperature and pressure of the gas will be gets increases. The increased pressure and temperature of gas it will be flowing into the gas turbine. So when the high pressure and high temperature gas, when it is enters into the gas turbine, it will be subjected to expansion. Due to this, the energy, the heat energy of the gas, it will be converts as a mechanical work in the form of rotation of shaft. The same rotation can be utilized to produce electricity or to drive the other rotating element. The exhaust gases it is releasing from the gas turbine, it will be flowing into the cooler. So there the heat it will be removed from the gases. So after removing the heat, the gas is subjected to low pressure and low temperature. The low pressure and low temperature gas again it is flowing into the compressor for the next cycle. In this way, the same working substance it will be recycled. Here the working substance it can be atmospheric air, or it can be nitrogen, carbon dioxide, or nitrogen, etc. Can be used as a working fluid. So this is about the closed cycle gas turbine. So in the next slide, the construction and working of closed cycle gas turbine. Briefly, the explanation is done. You can go through. Next, I'm explaining about the difference between open and closed cycle gas turbine. What are the differences between open and closed cycle gas turbine? So here I listed out some points in the table. First point is about the working fluid. Any fluid it can be used as a working fluid in closed cycle gas turbine, but in open cycle gas turbine, only atmospheric air can be used as a working fluid. The second point is working fluid is continuously circulated in every cycle. Fresh working fluid should be enters in every cycle. Fresh working fluid means it can be air and fuel. Third point is the working substance after doing work is cooled and fed back into the compressor in closed cycle gas turbine. In open cycle gas turbine, the compressed air from the compressor, it will be get mixed with the gases producing in the combustion chamber. Fourth point is the compressed fluid is heated from the external source. Here the compressed air get mixed with the products of combustion of fuel. Fifth point is higher efficiency in case of closed cycle gas turbine. In open cycle gas turbine, the efficiency is very less due to depression losses. So these are the common differences between closed cycle and open cycle gas turbine. Thank you. So here on my session.